Welcome back to Cards and Comics, and today I've got my top 10 comic book cover picks of the week, and it's 10 and not my usual 5 because I didn't do a top 5 last week because I was preparing for Comic Con. I went to Comic Con. Check out that video if you want to see what that was like. Now, I combined the 2 weeks into one. And I am going to release it as a separate video because combining card and comic content just is not working well for my channel, and I think it's just a lot of people just don't like mixed media. I don't know right now, even though I do. That's how I roll. But so I'm going to separate it out. So if you like comic book covers and mainly a focus on variant covers, I do put some A's in there, but I pick comic books because for two reasons: either I really like the artwork, I like the artist, or I think it's a good investment for the future. So that's how I pick these comics. Majority are going to be variants, some A's mixed in. Now, this is for the week of 15th and the 22nd November. Now, here I got a sneak peek for next week. This is the Cable Stormbreaker Daredevil number 36 here. Now, it may end up in my final picks for next week, but it is not a ratio variant, and you can pre-order this for like $4. So this is a cool cover. I like the coloring, and I like just the symmetry of this book. And so, like I said, it speaks to me, and I just saw it. I'm like, man, that's a cool cover. So that's my sneak peek for next week, and we'll see if it makes it into next week's video. Now, on to the top 10. So number 1, or number 10, not number 1, number 10 is God Killer Spider-Man number 1. Now I think this is an ongoing multi miniseries. So this is like the second or third miniseries from the God Killer universe. It's from Black Mask. This is a 1 in 15 ratio. It's a Muckraker 1 in 15 variant. Now this is a cool Aleister Crowley photo swipe. So I love it because this hasn't been done very often in comic books. And when you see something original, or something that you haven't seen before, I like it. And here's the original photo that this is swiped from. So you can see it's a really cool way of doing this. And I think it's going to have a lot of appeal, not only for people who are into the cult and the Crowley thing, but just something that's new for comic swipes. And it's a 1 in 15, so it's not terribly rare, so it's not going for crazy pricing. I think it's around 10 to 20 bucks on eBay. So there you go. A fun book to start out the list. Moving on to number 9. Now this is Good Boy. Good Boy number 1. This is, a book that just came out. Now, the thing that's interesting about this book is basically it's the inversion of the John Wick story, where instead of John Wick's dog being killed, it's the human that was friends with John, or with the dog, that gets killed, and the dog goes out and basically gets revenge for the person who killed his dog. In this case, killed his human. So I think it's a really cool way of inverting the story. Now this is a Scarface, Brian Silverback's cover. Now there's a lot of covers, and this is the Hogjaw Comics exclusive, so I pre-ordered it from them. However, there's a version variant that's available, and I cannot find how to get this, how to order it. It's on eBay, so I don't know where it's coming from. The Good Boy one with the trade dress is I think limited to 400. I have no clue what the version is. I'm assuming it's like 100 or less. So if I find it, I'll let you guys know. But right now it's a hard one to get. Number 8. Now this is kind of the controversial comic book pick of the week. It's a third printing of Son of Kal-El number 3 from DC. It's a 1 in 50 ratio variant from John Thames, and it's a Virgin variant. And the reason why it's controversial to me is just because it's already at 150 bucks, so it's pretty expensive already. But obviously, it's Superman kissing his boyfriend, which in the original art they weren't fully kissing, and now they're fully kissing. And some folks are losing their mind over it. To me, this doesn't really bother me. The art's fine. The subject matter's fine to me because, it is what it is. Like it's a part of the story. My issue is just that it's gone nuts already, and so we'll see if this holds, if this actually keeps the value or not, and how many of these are printed. They're fairly common on eBay right now. I mean, common for a book that's supposed to be kind of a 1 in 50. So we'll see. It may or may not hold value, but it's something that has got a lot of attention right now. And the only reason I have it so far on the list again is it's pretty expensive right now for a book this new. Number 7. Now Hulk #1, again another comic book that #1 that just came out. So you've had Spider-Man and Daredevil, not Daredevil, sorry, Spider-Man and Hulk and Venom all come out with #1s recently, and so this is the Mike McKone Epic Handshake meme variant. And I just thought it was interesting because a lot of the covers for this, #1, to me are just recycled Hulk ideas, that weren't cool. Even though some of the art may be considered better, this was just like different. I like the Thing and Hulk, kind of the logos on it and the black, and it's just cool. And eBay sells around $20 right now, and so I think people do like it. And so we'll see how it goes. But it's just one of those like different looking books, that I really, really would love to find in the wild, but I just can't, So I ordered it on eBay. That's how I had to order this one. Next up is number 6, Radio Apocalypse is a new series. #1 from Vault Comics. This is the Richard Pace 1 in 25 variant. And the thing I liked about this is obviously it's a Tank Girl homage. And I'm a big Neil Young fan, so there's 2 references to Neil Young. So there's the Better to Burn Out Than Fade Away, which is from Rust Never Sleeps. And then, there's Rust Never Sleeps. Better Burn Out Than Fade Away. I believe is from Tonight's the Night album. And so, anyway, I'm getting confused on my Neil Young lore. But anyway, it's all from, the song that Kurt Cobain wrote in his suicide note as well. So it's kind of got one of those, a little controversial song, but I don't think it's really controversial with people who understand what Neil was talking about. eBay sells for this book around $20 to $25 right now. It's a cool cover. The series itself, I read the premise of it. I haven't actually got this book to read it yet. And we'll see. I mean, it could be cool. It could be, just another series. But, a Tank Girl homage and Neil Young, and Black Flag and all that stuff makes me want to like it because, it's kind of cool, kind of different. Number 5. Now, this book is a really cool book. Now, it's not gone, too crazy, and I just wanted to showcase this because it's something that I'm just learning about because I'm not a big Transformers guy. And I knew nothing about Shattered Glass, but at the Comic-Con, I had multiple people come and ask me about Shattered Glass comic books. I did some research, and I found out that it's a mirror universe of the Transformer characters where the good guys are evil, the evil guys are good, and to do in combination they changed the color schemes and created kind of new variants of the actual Transformers, and I think that's just kind of cool. And it started out as kind of a joke. It was at like this convention called BotCon. They issued a comic book. They had some story like this in there, but it was kind of like an April Fool's joke that people really liked. And that book is worth some good money now. And so I went out and I got a couple issues of that first appearance. And now I found out that they're doing the Shattered Glass series, but they're issuing new figures on HasbroPulses.com. So IDW and Hasbro have teamed up, and you can only get these Shattered Glass variants by purchasing the actual book, the actual figure on their website. So you have to buy the Goldbug figure to get this book. Now, the Goldbug figure is selling about $20, and the comic book's selling about $20 to $30 too. So, for $30 is what this thing cost, online. You get both the comic book and the figure. And it's kind of a no-brainer, you can, most likely make your money back and on the figure or get close to it, and you get a free comic book. And I think these are going to be something in 5 or 10 years, especially if they turn Shattered Glass into either a TV show, a movie, or whatever, which I think they're going to eventually. I think you'll see some really interesting prices, and they're going to be limited somewhat. So I think it's a fun thing to do. So they're still available on the website. So if you want to go check it out, you can go to Hasbro Pulse and purchase the figure, get the book, and you can get all five. I believe there's five in this series, and the five figures are very cool as well. So if you like Transformers, go check it out. Number 4. Now this was in my preview from last week. Amazing Spider-Man 79. So this is the Del Auto Virgin variant. It just looks really great. Del Auto makes an amazing Spider-Man. And when he comes back to it with a new pose and sort of a new thing, the rain and, just everything about this looks really cool. And, pre-sales around $60. The very few sales have been recorded so far. Makes me think the book is delayed by just a few sales I looked up. But you never know. Like this could be just the fact that there's other websites selling it that I'm not looking at, because I look at most stuff on eBay, and so they just probably haven't been resold yet. So if they're actually not late, so it's hard to tell with everything so late what's an actual late book versus just something that hasn't been delivered yet for sales on eBay. But some pre-sales have been out there, so we'll see how it goes with this book. But I think it's going to have some staying power. It's all black, so it'll be hard to grade. So I believe the CGC 9.8s will be something people look for this book. All right, number 3, Black Panther #1. Now this is the Mike Mayhew version variant of the Sneakerhead variant for Black Panther. Now he's done, Venom. He's done Miles Morales. He's done Spider-Man, Batman. So these Sneakerhead books are becoming sort of like, let's say, the action figure variants, where you got to cross multiple lines of products and multiple, makers of comics, companies. So it's something you can like collect and just kind of have, kind of your sneaker collection, and then some sneakerhead variant comics. I think it makes sense. There's a lot of collectors in both communities. Now, I will say this: if I would love it for eventually there to be an actual sneaker to collect with the comic book. That would be awesome. But I don't think that's actually existed yet, where you got a comic book and a sneaker that the same thing. But that should be the next thing they do. Now, this could be a gimmick that gets old with some folks, so I like it for now, but I can see it being used too much. Now, the color on the Virgin variant is much different than the one on the regular book, and so it looks like almost like it's in a black light. So or whatever, like they changed the shoelace color and it looks more purple than black. So anyway, the regular looks a lot different than the Virgin. So which is why I still pick the Virgin over the regular, but I think they're both good to pick up. Number 2. Now this is a really cool series. I don't know much about, even though I love Neil Gaiman and I pretty much read anything he's written. But the Norse mythology series just seemed like a little bit too much like history, and that's fine. A history lesson, but the one thing I didn't know was these David Mack covers existed, and they're amazing. In fact, there's 2 series in Norse mythology. So this is series 2, and he's done. There's 6 books in every series. He's done a variant for each of these series. So there's 12 covers, and he's done 12 variants. So I found a set on eBay and just bought the whole set instead of just buying this one. And the whole set looks pretty awesome. And to me, like, I think it's just worth, because it's Gaiman, it's cool variants, and it's just fun to have the original books. Now, most of the time when I read books like this, if I wanted to read the series, I would buy the trade. But in the case like this, where you got all these cool variants for like $4 a piece, I might as well just buy the whole series and have all the cool covers. And so I went ahead and did it. Spent $30, and it was a cool $30 to spend. And I'm looking forward to getting these amazing looking books in hand, and have them and display them or do something with them. But they're really cool looking and something new, and I just found it, and I'm really excited about it. Number 1. Now this series, Wonder Woman Black and Gold is probably my favorite series in a long time. So this is issue 6, the last issue I believe in this series, but I cannot believe they're just going to let it go because of how much people have loved the covers that's come out of the series. And without a doubt that this series has had the most consistently awesome covers by all artists. I mean, you just had the Rose Besh, coming out, the last for number 5, I believe, which was an awesome comic. And then you got, this is the Lee Bermejo, sorry, version variant, which this is basically the same art that's on the A cover, just a version variant with a different color border, and it's a C2E2 exclusive, pretty rare. But this isn't actually the most expensive variant that's even in this, number 6. This is like, the Nakayama 1 in 25 variants already bringing over $100, and it's amazing as well. You can see the Nakayama is more of an action shot, but I love the detailed background in the Virgin variant. And I think it just has more, to me, like more to it, versus the Nakayama, which is more, of an action shot, but the background is pretty static versus the Virgin variant. So for that reason, I'm going to go with it. But on all honesty, what I would love to do is just get every single book from the series and just have them all, because I think people are going to go back and look at this series as being one of the most creative set of covers that's been done for as consistently for a series in a long time. And so I think it's even the cover A's are all beautiful. So I just think this series is one of those coolest set of covers that's come out in a long time. So that's it for me this week, my top 10 picks. And so this will be standalone video, and I'm going to be looking at the next round, and I will have a my next video I'm really looking forward to doing is I've picked up some really cool comic books lately, and I can't wait to share with you guys. A lot of variants, but a lot of really cool Silver Age stuff is on the way as well, and can't wait to share them with you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.